And now, because the news can in fact be funny, here are some of my favorite sort of news stories and things I heard over the years. So this is not my flow too good because I'm going to think of them as I go. But one of my favorites, there was a guy somewhere in Georgia. He called 911 because the McDonald's got his order wrong. It's a good use of valuable resources there. And then there was the couple. This is in Georgia. They had a counterfeit $1 million bill, and they passed it at the Walmart, and they sat there waiting for the change for whatever they bought. Now, me being from New Jersey, you never know with all this Trailblazer stuff on, but I am. You know, we got this reputation of being shady and whatnot, so we probably sold them the $1 million bill, and so that might be our fault. However, I had nothing to do with the $1 million bill. I don't know about that, but they passed a $1 million bill, waited for change. And years ago, I was reading the paper, and it said there was a shooting on Friendship Lane. Now that, hipsters, is an irony. A shooting on Friendship Lane. And let me see. Oh, this one's dark, but it's kind of funny. And I sent this in the headlines with Leno, and he never used it. And I watched it for weeks and weeks because I worked swing shift then, but I had off Monday night, so I was home watching headlines. See what life I had? I was home Monday night watching Jay Leno see headlines. Anyway, this guy decided he wanted to kill himself in Florida Man Friday. And he set himself on fire, and then he changed his mind. He jumped into a pond, and he wound up drowning. Now, that's a little dark, but it's kind of funny. Oh, then there's the, this was just the other day. There's like the parking lot pooper. This woman was like a serial pooper, and she was just shitting in the same parking lot over and over. And she was like a nanny. And who wouldn't want to have a nanny that poops into a parking lot around the corner?
I might not mind it because then that means she's not pooping in my house.
Hello, children. How are you? But anyway, so she told the cops that they didn't give her any access to the bathrooms, but in fact, they said they did give her access to the bathrooms. So who knows why anybody would be doing that? But you know, the one important question they didn't answer on the news was there any trace of corn? Because they finally caught her doing it. I guess she opened up the side of her van and dropped off a deuce. Now, this actually wasn't a headline, but this actually, someone I used to know worked at a Burger King, and they had a phantom shitter. That's what he called her. This woman or somebody went into the women's room and would shit in a brown paper bag and just leave it there. So they had the phantom shitter of the Burger King. And this is around the time the Phantom Menace came out, so I guess everybody was being a fan of the Phantom Shitter, the Phantom Menace. Now, this isn't a headline. I'm just kind of going random stuff here, but this is something funny I read on the bathroom wall in Utah. On the door, it said, "Here I sit moaning and groaning. I'm giving birth to a highway patrolman." Now, the funny thing about that is it was in the women's room. Now, you may find yourself asking, what were you doing in the women's room? Well, I was on my way to a funeral, and the person I was traveling with, I said, I got to go to the bathroom real bad. So what does the person I'm traveling with do? They hand me the credit card for the gas, and then they run off to the bathroom knowing I got to shit really bad because we had just stopped off at the steak buffet, which closed in a half hour. So I'm gobbling, I got like 20 minutes to eat. So we're on our way so now we're over in Utah. I got to take a dump really bad. It's hurting really bad. So I was traveling with my dad. He pulls the van to the side of the road and angles the van sideways, and I took a dump right on the side of the Interstate 80 there, just over in Utah. So if there's anyone out hiking or whatnot in the early part of 99 and you found a foot-long floater on the side of the road in Utah just past Wendover, it could have been mine. It was January 99.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, but I'm sure I bet someone might have picked it up and smelled it. So then, so we stop at a gas station. I got to go really bad. So my dad hands me his credit card and runs off to the bathroom. I'm like, God damn it. So by the time I get to pumping the gas, I go in there, and the men's room is occupied. So I go into the women's room. So I got to really fire one off. I sit down, bam. So I'm looking at the wall, and it says, "Here I sit moaning and groaning. I'm giving birth to a highway patrolman." So that's the funniest thing I've ever seen written on a bathroom wall, and it was in the women's room. So either there was another guy that had used a crapper like me, and the men's room was closed, or there was a woman with a crazy sense of humor. And they are out there. You may think, a lot of people say, oh, women are dainty and they're polite and they're not rude. I don't know about that. I tell you what, I got a smoking hot babe of a wife that can peel paint off a wall with some of her farts. I'll tell you that right now.
I actually just did one.
And she just farted right now, apparently. Let me think if I can think of some other funny headlines here. I'm kind of running out of them, but anyway, so this started off at a funny look at headlines and wandered into a conversation about taking a dump on the side of the road in Utah. But hey, I got a newsflash. I probably made Utah look better.
I peed on the side of the road in Idaho, and it was windy, and it got on my pants.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah, my wife was Pee Pants the Clown before Peter Griffin was. Yeah, we're traveling to Idaho, and we could not find a bathroom. All the bathrooms were like on the wrong side of the road or way off this way, and she finally had to go. So she pulls the side of the road and crouches down and spreads the lemonade around while the wind decided to pick up and shoot the lemonade around a little bit.
All over my pants.
All over her pants.
They were orange pants.
Well, they were orange pants.
I loved those pants.
And now those pants became yellow. So see, my wife was into the turning yellow trend before everyone now that's doing it wants to look like a cartoon. Well, my wife's pants turned yellow about nearly 20 years before everyone else's did. So anyway, this started off as a humorous look at the headlines and wound up becoming a long babble about the bowel movements, pissing, and farts. But those are things that I make a bowel movement laugh. Hey, pile of shit! You hear the one about the, what do you call a man with his hand up a horse's ass? An Amish mechanic. Well, see, I just made a turd laugh. It sounds like a fart. So anyway, on that note,